She was just 3 years old when she vanished on a family holiday. No trace, no definitive answers, yet whispers of suspects, conflicting evidence, and decades of hope and heartbreak. A tiny blonde girl disappears from a holiday apartment one night. Nearly 2 decades later, a man is still under suspicion. A suspect who once walked free, whose whereabouts and status now stir fresh fear, questions, and unanswered truths. If you want raw truth, no gloss, no distraction, hit subscribe now, ring that bell. Because when justice inches forward, you want to be here first. The Madeleine McCann case. What's new, what's changed, and what the world still doesn't know. Let's set the stage.
Did you see anything suspicious in the days leading up to her abduction? Did you notice anything? Have you been racking your brains to try to think whether people might have been watching?
We didn't.
If we did, we wouldn't tell you because it may be important information, but we didn't, you know. It was such a relaxing holiday, and in fact, as a family unit, up until that night, and with the friends we were here, certainly for us, it was as good a holiday as we have had with the children, up until that point.
In 2007, Madeleine McCann, age 3, vanishes from Praia da Luz in Portugal while on holiday with her family. One of the most high-profile missing persons cases in recent history. The world followed, media, police, volunteers. But for years, leads evaporated, clues dried up, hope flickered. Fast forward to 2020. A German man, Christian Brueckner, becomes a formal suspect in the case. Why him? Because he was in the Algarve region at the time, had a criminal record including sexual offences, and matched some other suspicious data points. But suspects do not equal convictions. Over the years, multiple searches in Portugal, witness testimonies, forensic analysis. Police from UK, Germany, Portugal coordinating, but with lots of frustration because evidence strong enough for court has been scarce. Now in 2025, new developments. Brueckner is released from prison in Germany under strict conditions. Authorities conduct fresh searches in Algarve properties linked to him. Media and public pressure intensify. The McCann case, long dormant in many public minds, is stirring again. What do these new developments mean? Will they lead to a breakthrough, or are we circling the same shadows? Here are the most up-to-date facts, carefully verified. 1. Christian Brueckner's prison release and conditions. Brueckner is expected to be released from German custody. He was imprisoned for an unrelated sexual offence, the rape of an elderly woman. Upon release, his freedom is heavily restricted. Electronic monitoring, residency restrictions, surrendering his passport under supervision. These are designed to limit his ability to leave the country or interfere with investigation. 2. Status of investigation. British police have reaffirmed Brueckner remains a suspect. Authorities believe Madeleine is deceased. Recent searches in Portugal, specifically in areas associated with Brueckner, have been launched by Portuguese and German law enforcement. These searches are looking for physical evidence, DNA, personal items, anything that might connect him more definitively to the disappearance. 3. Public and media reactions. Significant media attention has followed Brueckner's release. Many in the UK public are uneasy. How can a suspect in such a high-profile disappearance be released, even with restrictions? Friends and family of Madeleine McCann continue to press for answers, transparency. The McCann's legal team are focusing on missing evidence, hoping that the renewed searches and efforts in Germany and Portugal will uncover something new. 4. Legal hurdles and challenges. No charges have yet been brought in connection with Madeleine's disappearance. Legal standards for evidence, beyond reasonable doubt, remain high. Evidence must be admissible across jurisdictions. Cross-border legal cooperation is complex. Different laws, property rights, statutes of limitations, chain of evidence challenges. Time, memories fade, physical evidence deteriorates, suspects move, witnesses may die or move away. 5. Speculative but important angles. Some believe that Brueckner's homelessness or change of status after release might impact the investigation. Being under restriction means he is easier to monitor, but also perhaps less presumably engaged in criminal behaviour. Another angle, earlier mistakes in investigation, initial search delays, potential lost or contaminated evidence, may still haunt the case. Anything newly found must survive scrutiny.
I guess I was looking at Madeleine's bed and I couldn't make her out. And then I realised actually she's not in that bed. And I thought, oh, I wonder if she's woken up, gone through to our bed. She wasn't in our bed. And that was the first time where I guess, a panic kicked in.
These are the strongest threads we have, but none confirm wrongdoing in court yet. Now, let's talk theories, and more importantly, what might actually crack this case open after all these years. Theory A, Brueckner as principal suspect. Evidence suggests he was in the region, has relevant history, and law enforcement believes there's credibility. If the searches uncover physical evidence, DNA for example, this theory becomes legally stronger. But there have always been gaps. No confirmed eyewitness placing Madeleine directly with him. No incontrovertible physical proof linking him to the apartment or that specific night. Theory B, someone else or multiple perpetrators. Some believe more than one person could have been involved, either assisting or interfering. Could there have been someone who saw something and hasn't come forward? Individuals who were in proximity but unnoticed. Theory C, cover-ups, mishandled early leads. The earliest hours after Madeleine's disappearance are crucial. Some critics say that Portuguese authorities did not fully inspect or secure certain areas, or that witness interviews were delayed or not properly recorded. Possible loss or contamination of evidence may have set the investigation back. What could break the case? 1. Discovery of physical evidence. New forensic techniques, DNA testing, trace evidence, might yield something from areas previously searched. Objects found in Algarve properties once linked to Brueckner could provide hard proof. 2. Witness testimonies or retractions. Someone who earlier felt intimidated or afraid might now come forward. Existing witnesses with murky or incomplete statements might be re-interviewed with better methods. 3. Technological advances. Forensic tech keeps improving, re-examining items collected long ago using new methods. Digital records, CCTV, satellite imaging might yield overlooked clues. 4. Legal pressure and public scrutiny. The McCann's legal team, family pressure, media coverage could force disclosure of hidden documents or push for more transparency. International cooperation, German, Portuguese, British prosecutors working together might pool evidence to reach chargeable strength. Where the gaps lie evidence chain, what was collected, how it was stored, and whether it survives legal scrutiny. Witness consistency, when people's memories diverge, when statements are vague. Timeliness, search and response time in 2007 may have missed windows where evidence could have been preserved better. And here, let's talk impact on the family, the legal system, and all of us watching. Impact on the McCann family. 2 decades of grief, hope, and demand for answers. Clearly, every new development, like the suspect's release under restriction or a new search, reopens wounds but also rekindles hope. The public is watching. Every question raised, every news report, every piece of evidence, or lack thereof, is scrutinised. Public trust and law enforcement lessons. The case underscores how crucial early investigations are.
Neither her parents or any of the members of the group that were with her are either persons of interest or suspects. They are parents who have lost their daughter, and we're doing all that we can to bring resolution for them to find out what has happened to Madeleine.
Mistakes, delays, missed leads can cost years, evidence, and possibly justice. The role of interjurisdiction cooperation is non-negotiable. Without cooperation between German, Portuguese and UK authorities, even strong leads might not lead to charges. What questions should the public be asking? Where exactly was Brueckner in May 2007? What records exist of his location, movement, communications? Are all existing witnesses being treated fairly? Are any being pressured or fearing consequences if they speak up? Has any evidence been lost or degraded over the years? And what is being done to mitigate that? How transparent are the investigations? Can the public see redacted files? Are there FOI, Freedom of Information requests, in play? What it means moving forward. If nothing else, recent developments show that cold cases need never be forgotten. Public awareness helps. Media coverage, documentaries, podcasts, they keep pressure on, keep authorities accountable. Raw Reality will continue covering this case. Every new search, every statement, every twist. Because this is one of the defining unresolved mysteries of modern Europe. Madeleine McCann's disappearance remains a painful riddle. Christian Brueckner remains a suspect, but the legal path to resolution is still steep. Yet with each new detail, each renewed search, each piece of evidence uncovered, the possibility of justice, or at least truth, inches closer. You've been listening to Raw Reality. If you believe in the power of facts, in giving voice to cold cases, then you belong here. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends, your family. Spread awareness. Because sometimes a fresh set of eyes, a fresh question, or simply someone caring enough to listen can change everything. Leave a comment. What do you believe? Is Brueckner guilty, or is someone else responsible? Do you think Madeleine could still be found alive, or should the search focus on what really happened on that night? Let's talk. Thanks for staying with us. Until next time, stay sharp. Raw Reality over and out.